With WWE dealing with a new lawsuit and more, my name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Mentioning the segment on Collision where CM Punk spray painted a black X on his AEW World Title belt, Kevin Nash said this on his Click This podcast. I didn't see it, so I don't have an opinion on it. It seemed to be effective 25 years ago. In Phil's defense, I think you can grab that hold after 25 years, which they've done, 4 times now? I really don't have a problem with it. I would be more entailed to think about when Shawn and Razor had the IC belts, and Shawn got suspended and they put the belt on Scott. They had a tournament, Scott won it, then we went to WrestleMania 10 and we had both the belts up there. I mean, it's straight edge. It's his gimmick. Revealing previous plans for his involvement at Money in the Bank, KSI told the MMA Hour, "Yes, I did see Logan Paul's match at Summerslam. He's insane. I was talking to him. I was like, bro, that DDT, you backflipping onto him and then DDTing him was insane. The whole match was top tier. Literally one of the best matches I've ever watched. I've seen a lot of WWE. He's just insane. He's sick, man. He's very, very dope. We had a few ideas, but we decided it wasn't going to work, so we just left it. And I just decided to watch since I was in England. Yeah, it was sick." Speaking about a potential feud between each other, the Young Bucks told the Swerve City podcast, "Hopefully we won't. I feel like every team has ever. Would we be the first ever to have a full career? I would like to do a singles match at some point on Dynamite. I think it'd be fun and fans would like it. We don't need a feud. Just a random singles match at some point. I wouldn't want to feud. Let's just have fun, one night only. I don't know how it would work. Maybe in a tournament setting." Recalling the head trauma he suffered during his pro wrestling career when reflecting on Chris Benoit's double murder-suicide, Jake Roberts said on his podcast, "I mean, I went and did the test and stuff. We figured out that I had at least 3 concussions a year. Now that's bad. That's real bad considering that I wrestled for 30 years. That's 90 concussions. So what's my brain look like? I was struggling there for a while talking because I'd not talked a lot. Doing this podcast has helped me, but yeah, I'm scared to death about what's going to wind up. I look at the next 5 to 10 years, what's my brain gonna do if I'm here?" For plans on Gable Steveson following his initial in-ring bout against Baron Corbin, Steve Carey of Ringside News wrote that Gable Steveson's NXT debut brought a lot of attention to him as fans guessed his next move. "We have been told that he will stay in NXT for now, but they are always watching him on the main roster." While tensions rise within the Judgment Day faction, it looks like big changes are coming, as it was said on Wrestling Observer Radio that it looks like JD McDonough is going to be replacing Damian Priest in the Judgment Day when this big split goes down. Talking about his match at SummerSlam against Ricochet, Logan Paul said this about his black eye on his podcast. "Why do I look worse than you and you had a fight and I had a wrestling match?" Logan asked his brother Jake. "You got punched in the face?" "Ricochet kicked me in the face. I think it was a kick in the first 2 minutes, but I liked it. I liked that actual pain. You gotta be careful out there. So I've learned. And I've gotten better with the mechanics of my wrestling moves." When it comes to the merger between WWE and UFC under new parent company Endeavor, Ringside News wrote that during their second quarter earnings presentation, Endeavor confirmed that they are aiming to finalize the WWE-UFC merger in the window of mid to late September. Once the merger is successfully executed, the combined entity will operate under the name TKO Group. The announcement of the WWE-UFC merger through Endeavor's acquisition was initially made on April 3rd, right after WrestleMania 39. The roots of this merger trace back to 2016 when UFC's parent company Zuffa was purchased by a consortium led by Endeavor. In 2021, Endeavor further solidified its ownership of UFC by acquiring the remaining shares held by Zuffa stakeholders. The previous estimates had suggested that the merger would be completed within the second half of 2023, and this new update seems to align with that projected timeline. The organizational structure of the merged entity has also been detailed. Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel will assume the role of CEO for TKO Group, while Vince McMahon, the controlling shareholder of WWE, will serve as the executive chairman of the new company. As part of the arrangement, Endeavor will hold a majority stake of 51%, while the remaining 49% will be allocated to WWE shareholders. Following the news of her injury, Sonya Deville posted a video update as she underwent surgery for her torn ACL yesterday. With a fan on Twitter making a design where the CM Punk logo is on top of a trans flag, it seems that AEW has taken this design and using it on t-shirts. The original creator of the logo said, "Can't believe I made a trans flag Punk logo, and now it's literally the same design on a shirt. This was all me, baby. Shop AEW, CM Punk, hook a girl up." Despite it seeming as if Ronda Rousey's run in WWE has come to an end following her loss to Shayna Baszler at Summerslam, PW Insider revealed that Ronda Rousey, as of now at least, still remains listed on the WWE's internal roster. After Jimmy Uso turned on his brother Jey Uso at SummerSlam, PW Insider said this about his WWE status. Jimmy Uso is now listed as a heel internally. As it looks like a feud is brewing between the Usos, WrestleVote said this about possible plans. Hearing that at least one creative force backstage wants WWE to wait for WrestleMania to do the first Uso brother versus brother match. However, that's unlikely at this point, I'm told, with the feeling that 35 weeks is too long of a stretch. For an update on the injury status of Roman Reigns, it was noted that Tuesday morning, Wrestling Observer reported that Roman Reigns got hurt early in the match with Jey Uso at WWE SummerSlam. Fightful Select has since confirmed that news. However, he is still planned for WWE SmackDown this Friday. After SummerSlam, word came out that Reigns was not advertised for any WWE TV episodes over the next few months. However, we did confirm that Reigns was planned for this Friday's SmackDown, and as of now, there aren't plans for him to miss his internally scheduled appearances. That could always change. WWE hasn't responded to our official inquiries regarding Reigns, but we've heard the same that Observer did about it happening early on. There were those who would likely be in the know in a creative capacity for SmackDown who hadn't even heard about the injury until word emerged Tuesday. Ringside News would add that Roman Reigns was injured at SummerSlam, which we were able to confirm. We were also able to 100% verify that WWE will not have to change their creative plans because of this situation. So that should put the "should Roman drop the titles" discussion to rest. The legal troubles of WWE have increased in recent times. As Ringside News writes, WWE and Vince McMahon are currently facing a lawsuit filed against them in the United States District Court of the Western District of Pennsylvania by Dana W. Wiley. According to documents obtained by PW Insider, the lawsuit alleges breach of contract and failure to reimburse a $5,500 down payment for a meetup arranged via email correspondence to personally meet World Wrestling Entertainment employee Alexa Bliss on June 30th. The handwritten lawsuit contends that WWE's executive chairman breached an agreement with Wiley, where Wiley was to assume a role as a WWE employee with a monthly salary of $70,000. Wiley alleges McMahon discriminated against him. As it was noted in the lawsuit, the plaintiff was arrested and charged for attempted homicide, aggravated assault against Newcastle, Pennsylvania law enforcement. On October 22, 2022, ordered the United States Secret Service and Pennsylvania State Police Troop, the major case team, to possess a warrant to unlawful seized search plaintiff phone device and property in conspiracy theory plot to obstruct and destroy any evidence supporting these facts. The World Wrestling Entertainment employee Alexa Bliss email text to plaintiff hangout, WhatsApp, email business accounts. Wiley is seeking compensation amounting to $6 million, aiming to cover the breach of contract and the reimbursement of all legal expenses. As of this writing, Alexa Bliss has not made any public statements regarding this ongoing situation. This isn't the first instance where Wiley has attempted to take legal action against Vince McMahon. In the past, he filed a lawsuit against McMahon, members of DX, and the NWO, asserting that he had entered into a fair use contract for the trademarks of those groups back in 1995. Wiley claimed that he signed the contract on the steps of a courthouse in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, after receiving a sentence in an unrelated criminal case. However, this particular lawsuit was eventually dismissed. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.